Anyway, we're going to start. I'm kidding.
No wonder you like this.
All
God,
right,
I
I'm gonna
just thought
shut
you were
up.
just some weirdo.
All right, here we go.
Oh.
This is
Starting, old man.
Soup. Can you let me know if you have any problems, and I'm going to let you start the discussion. So here we go. War 19,
I'm not alone
part 1.
when I say that. I don't think we'll ever get anything.
Oh
quite
yes,
like
the cold open.
I served as a field artillery
Spark wrote
corpsman
and
from
recorded this
After
specifically
grade, I didn't
for like
bother
the
to
documentary.
plan drama or
Uh,
public outlaw.
I remember
I
him
just fought on.
taking like quite a while. He was he was busy with like his writing and his like radio dramas, and like I suppose like it took him like a while to really like do it. Like he was like telling me, I'm sorry, I'll get it out. When when I knew like the documentary wasn't coming out for like a few months, like a long time.
Still plenty of
So he
time.
was, like,
Apologize
fretting about-
that it's not done yet.
That's like half
Yeah.
of half of my projects. I don't think the community realizes how many projects are on the back burner, just sitting there cold. Oh, it's horrible.
No, it's just a stack of them on the desk, and like I can tell you for sure on my computer, I have about 15 different projects
Yep,
that I
sounds
want to
right.
do, and I have like
Oh,
three
this
of those.
intro.
Three of those are half done. Oh
Man,
yeah,
this-
this transition. Oh,
This intro really makes me smile every time I see it.
oh,
It's really good.
great.
The
editing.
concept
if,
of
if anyone
I,
has
I,
watched
I like
Ken
the
Burns,
rewind there with
that's
the
really-
rocket.
Yeah, when it starts going, when it starts rewinding and actually putting
Yeah,
things
if,
back
if,
into
if
perspective.
anyone's seen the Ken Burns' The Vietnam War, this is pretty much one-to-one
I've
with
been
that
meaning
the
to
intro to
watch.
that. It's just like going through the important or like the major events of the war like in reverse.
I
Man, like the,
I love
introduction
the
of battle
reverse.
tank.
I love the reverse machine gun of the battle tank there. That's my favorite.
Yeah, my favorite part is well, it was the speeches, but like that's done already. Oh yeah, this part as well, where it turns from color to black and white on purpose. I don't know. I watch it now, and it's pretty cute, I suppose.
You're
I mean,
including
it's
a
well
lot of
done,
things.
in
proud
my
of Mike
Damn
making
sexy.
You're
You
including
think
a lot.
about all-
Because
yeah,
you have
it's-
like backwards like stock footage, you have backwards real game footage, isometrics and all that, so it's really cool. Anyway,
Yeah.
Animations, drawings.
Oh, this intro really makes me smile as well, because it was
building.
just yes, and also perfect newsreel format,
it was.
and also it
Reminds
does
me
a
of,
little bit with the yeah.
What is it? Call of Duty World at War, how they have the tape and then it fades and crackles.
I like that. I like that cut right there.
I actually can't see the thing because my internet is not doing well.
Oh no.
But I can hear it, and I can see everything because I've watched this so many times.
Oh no, you can hear it.
I can
No,
see it in my
nerves.
mind.
So this part, I was actually the biggest pain in the ass for him to
Oh yeah.
to actually kind of interlace the map, have it pop out, and
Yeah, I
actually
really had to
animate this
take-
part.
I remember
Yeah.
seeing some of the test renders.
Oh, the test renders. Oh.
Almost thousands of test renders.
So real quick,
Okay, maybe
Potato.
not 1,000, but like each render took like at least
Day or
1
two.
minute per second
Oh,
of video.
oh my god, that's gonna make me
And
fun.
then Vegas would just crash so many
Now,
times.
for the record, your computer, how good is your computer, just in terms of processing?
If you can call it a computer.
Okay, so that's part of the problem, is that your computer isn't really up to snuff for a project of this size.
it's pretty decent for like I guess like just like VC and playing games and all.
Sure.
But like it's a laptop. It's a
Oh my goodness.
it's a decent laptop as well. Like it's a 8 gigabytes i7 7th gen. But like rendering like bigger than 4K resolution maps in
I'm sorry,
Vegas no less.
You live in the Philippines, and like, but when you started talking about your laptop, I have never felt
You live
more
in
like
the
I am talking to
Philippines, end of
someone from like a
conversation.
third world country. Then for the record, I should say,
You're Filipino. and blood too,
so
okay?
yes, my parents are Filipino immigrants. Hans is Filipino. Soup, I believe, is Filipino. I saw a bear's mother is Filipino. I saw Bear's mother is Filipino.
Just to make sure that the newbies there were doing all right.
So
Yeah,
there's
pretty
an
much.
overrepresentation in this.
It's perfectly fine. You guys are like cousins anyway.
Yeah, there you go.
And they were
Pretty much, yeah.
Says the
Oh
resident
man,
Mexican.
All this
this
keying.
this part with Serenity. Serenity turned out to be like one of the major actors in like the Jade crisis, and I guess it was like a
Almost
bit of a stroke of
unwittingly,
luck that I was.
almost.
Yeah, pretty much unwittingly.
Serenity
And it was
from
pretty much a
former
stroke of luck.
WGA.
Yeah, that's the thing, because he was from at the start of the war he was in War the Navy, and then he exited or got kicked out, I don't know, and then he formed the WGA during the war, and then WGA got involved with Jade and then WNS, and the fallout from that, he moved to Colonials, became CGA, Colonial Guardian Angels. And then, like, after that, he was back to Wardens. All that in the span of just a few weeks. it's a lot to go through, you know, especially when we're dealing with like getting more interviews with like both sides, and dealing with how to puzzle Jade and like other events. And I guess it was just a stroke of luck that I got to know Serenity like before, like, you know, before get like interviews with him, like before Jade, because that would color a lot of stuff. Oh, by the way, Hans exited.
Oh.
He's in lounge. Can you move him back in?
There you are.
Oh my god! I think half of the time spent on a third of the time had to have been spent on just those colors, just the map.
These shots as well. Like, it's always been hard for us to get shots like that,
like
where we can
snapshots.
actually get
Oh man,
a good snapshot
shots
over the
with
shoulder,
with the glitch.
or you know, some sort of panoramic view.
It's actually
And-
pretty easy for me. You need really bad internet.
I mean, that's probably one of the perks, I would say.
Yeah, that
That's
was
one of the
also-
only perks.
It used to be so easy to just get the camera bug working, but
It's been patched
in
out.
this war, yeah. But like
They said they
it was in
patched out
War
the
19 when they like patched it out for the time being, because like Hans was like my cameraman, I suppose, like getting all these glitch shots. But then in the middle of the war, it stopped working, and like I had planned to like use a lot of that footage, like in-game footage, to represent like the battles and all. And then the camera bug just stopped working in the middle of the war, and all my plans just went kaput.
Yep,
Actually,
that
so
happens.
I had- like,
what we
for
did
that
though. I remember what we did to rectify that. So like the next war over, it was already an update war, and you could see trenches in it. But I bugged myself again, and I was able to do it. And I took pictures of Jade Cove for like the ending battle of Jade Cove on like the third part or something. Oh no, the second
Yeah.
part.
No,
So
it's the
you'll
third
see that
part,
like
yeah.
there are pictures that aren't from that update. I think
Yeah,
specifically
so I
to
really,
make it more
so I guess
open.
partly because of that, I had to like really put my energies into like the map animations, because that's gonna take up most of the thing. I didn't want it to be mostly just stock footage, you know.
Just to
Yeah.
illustrate how hard some of that stuff is, there's like the texture of making it look like old paper. There's combining all the parts of it, because there's no
Oh,
clean
yeah,
world
so
map,
many layers.
at least at the time before the hexagon.
Yeah, you can see the,
There's
like,
the
the
cut right
difference in
there
the
on the
map
left-hand
quality.
side.
The roads at the region borders.
And then here's another cut.
Yeah. The road map and then the regional maps, the roads don't line up mostly, so I had to do some like Photoshop magic to get that kind of sorted out.
Right.
Also, since like the regional maps had like their borders had like a blackening to them. Like, what do you call that?
Vignette.
It's like
It's got a bit of a
yeah.
vignette to it, yeah.
Yeah, so I tried to like remove that for a bit, and just like zooming in from like a world map perspective to like a regional map perspective, it's fairly hard.
About 6 enemy armored cars showed up.
Well, fairly hard in the sense of like computing, because like, rendering a 6-second shot of that took I think like 7 minutes
Right.
with like the with like the icons and the like 3 different layers. So like there's the base layer, there's the green layer, and there's the blue layer.
And then not only that, you have to work about setting up masks to have the transition of colors.
Yeah, mask. Yeah,
Like, that's all
exactly.
manual, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all
whenever,
manual.
Whenever the borders change of the colors and like movements are happening, it's all manual.
Yeah, it's all manual,
Oh, that's
and like
brutal.
moving the icons as well to correspond with those movements. With those masks, I mean.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
And
Yeah,
each individual card you had to make based on silhouettes.
Animating was also a horror terror, but
you paint yourself with every little mistake you would make with these layers. I remember that.
Oh God, I guess it's a good thing that I can't hear the audio much right now, because like my recording for this first part is so terrible. I was like,
I'm
don't know,
impressed.
I was pretty.
Your English is damn good. Like, your accent like does not come as strongly as when I first
I
met
was
you.
done by the time we got Long Zone, but
from what I saw from the Great War of Eight to where you are now, your accent has, well, at least your English has improved dramatically to the point where I can barely distinguish you have an accent.
The operation was considered a.
So I thought you were gonna say I can actually understand what you're saying.
I'm not that mean.
I remember one time, I forget when, but you showed me a test render, and then you there was just something you didn't like about it, and you told me how much time you spent on that render. I told you, just leave it, it's perfect. Don't put yourself through the trouble of making a slight difference.
Has to be perfect.
We had to.
I literally shouted at you to just leave it, it's good.
Real quick, shout out to.
There was another one with this one. Oh, the Zero Dark opening, the old Zero Dark opening.
Shout out to Kirk
I love
Casey
it.
and Jerry Martin and the SimCity 3000 soundtrack.
Yeah.
I love that. That's
Oh
some of the
yeah,
best
and
video
I
game
made it
jazz.
into like a kind of TV thing.
That was a
Right.
great when I first saw that transition to the TV, I'm like, oh my god, this is incredible.
This was the first test render shot I saw with you, Potato. The first one you showed me.
Oh yeah.
Because this is about the time when I jumped in to start helping you with content.
Yeah, that was around June, July.
June or July, around that time.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the part where work was slowing down, and I really just kind of stopped giving a crap about work, so I
Real
needed
quick.
something else to do.
The Oleander Monster House is something we always have to talk about. To me, that's almost as not quite, but it's like outside of Jade Cove, the Oleander Monster House is probably the biggest thing from 19 outside of Jade Cove.
Oh, yeah.
It is. It was insane. I'm
Yeah,
so pissed. So that was when I first started doing Twitch streams as opposed to just recording on YouTube. I think. I don't know, but like either way, I had forgotten to do the setting where it saves the footage, and I hadn't known about highlight. I'm not good at I'm still not good at this stuff. I'm still not good at this
The
Twitch
clipping
stuff.
stuff.
So I didn't even know how to highlight, and I didn't because I thought it would just save it eternally. But no, you had to highlight it, so it was lost. I lost it like 3 days before Potato asked me or something. So all that
my gosh.
it was.
So like the first like 8 like broadcasts, they were just gone.
Just
and I was
completely
planning
gone.
to like
The
use
Oleander
them
Monster House
for the
is-
documentary as well.
Is as brutal as it's described in the documentary. It is.
Rip to
It was
that data.
grueling. Because the thing is, nobody knew, and you mentioned this in the documentary. No one knew how to take out a safe house because safe houses that's the first time they had ever.
That
been.
was the first time they'd been used, yeah.
Right.
So nobody knew how to use it.
No one knew the
Like
meta,
how-
or even just the basic mechanics of. Shout out to Clapfoot for giving us such joyous mystery of
Literal black magic.
of not knowing how to.
Developer black magic. Thanks, Canada.
So no one knew how to take this thing out, and they're just throwing people at it. It was, I'm not joking, hundreds of manpower, repeatedly people, the same players dying.
Oh
but
yeah, no, we
hundreds of
would
people.
just run in there as soon as we would try to
Hundreds of lives, I
rush
should
in
say.
there to see who makes it in.
It was like it
And
was
we
really
try-
the Pavlov house of Foxhole.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait! I really have to credit Bubba D
Red
for
Orchid.
this.
Oh yeah.
He got a
God, that's beautiful.
like a glitch shot, like a camera bug shot of like the actual Oleander house, and like he traced that, like he used that as like, the
Really?
basis for
I'm
that
sorry.
drawing.
I don't
That
want
was
to.
great.
Okay, I don't want to I don't want to stop and go because that's you don't do that commentary. But this shot right here, this is based off a real in-game shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was based off the real Oleander house. Like he went to the trouble of
Wow.
going to the region, like
What I love
dying
is you see the
and
layers, so it's really
getting
like
this.
3D.
It's really.
Jesus, that's
Yeah.
Hey,
beautiful.
Potato, do you want me to point out mistakes?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Hey, Potato.
Is that Kevin Spacey?
Yeah.
Hey, Boris, I was thinking the same thing when I first saw it, but I didn't want to say anything. This leg right here, wrong layer.
Oh. Yeah, the
Yeah,
bullet
you really
laser
Potato,
that was
him.
wrong.
Get out of here.
Oh, yeah.
You ruined it.
Damn it.
You failed. No, I'm joking.
And I would have gotten away with it if it
the,
weren't for you meddling.
Why did you hold on?
Press
Why
cam.
did you choose Kevin Spacey to be me? Why did you cast Kevin Spacey to be me in
God
this shot?
damn it.
That's Kevin Spacey.
That was your doing.
He has that.
You were like,
he has that
you were
stern
like, I don't
expression on
want.
his face.
That's fine.
No, this was you. You were all like, oh, I don't want faces to be seen.
I still
That's just
don't. No,
mine.
but you still
That's
chose a
mine.
face. You still chose like a jawline that looks like Kevin Spacey.
No, well, don't blame me. Blame Superior. He made this.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He made us in SFM. Okay.
Like, doesn't that look like Kevin? This is the last I'm gonna stop. Like, that looks like Kevin
SFM
Spacey.
Spacey filmmaker.
Oh my god.
All the models are just Kevin Spacey.
Okay, I'm glad I wasn't the only one who thought that because I've been thinking that this whole time for like years.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Hold on.
What timestamp
Damn
are
it.
you on?
Okay, last time, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
I appreciate the
lost
layers. The armor cars, those are layered. I see it. That's good.
Yeah, having the parallax shot I think was really cool.
It's really
Or like
Real quick, do they
I
teach
suppose I could really add it.
when in the Philippines? Do they teach commas and numbers? I'm not joking. That sounds sarcastic, but like, are you trained? Like, do they teach you to put commas and numbers?
When one such weapon of war was
Um,
introduced, the battle tank.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, it pretty much
You
just
mean,
depended
like, in
on the
the
teacher. Like some
1000?
teachers,
Fair
some teachers would put the commas, some wouldn't.
Sure.
But it's not. But it wasn't like. I know that I suppose in the European model they put periods instead of commas, which I think is pretty weird.
Uh-huh. Real quick, this is probably the closest thing we'll get to like a legit anime credits in Foxhole.
Oh my god. No, you're gonna push someone to make an anime Foxhole now.
Better
Well,
be
people-
good.
People always
I mean,
do
don't they already
the
just draw that all the time?
the
Oh,
anime
by the way,
intros.
this last interview, this was like a genuine interview. I asked him how the war was going on at that point,
Uh-huh.
and it was so accurate. It was so accurate to how the war was going at that time, and then how it just pretty much changed in the middle and in the end.
Oh, here's the eclipse. So
Oh, yes,
this is
eclipse.
not the first time this has happened or the last.
This intro is the cheesiest out of all of them. I swear.
I'm so glad you kept that
It's
in
like
though,
some-
because that's such a raw moment where it's like, because for those who don't know, the time on the server like reset, so it went from dark night to instant like midday in like straight up like frame by frame, like instantaneously.
Like,
so it was like
It
everyone
was
like, what
almost
the
dark.
hell?
It was pitch black, and then all of a sudden, it was like somebody played the Song of Time from Legend of
Yeah.
Zelda, and it just advanced time to noon.
I like.
Queen showed
I
up.
wrote some fucking weird propaganda shit
You
about
did.
that because as soon as that
Yeah.
happened, the Warden started losing. As soon as that happened, Foundry got taken.
Yeah, because that like strategic like
I was
that
sitting
actually had an
there,
effect on the
and
game.
I was like, oh wait, no, the eclipse was when I.
This literally
met-
sounds like some fucking like History Channel thing now.
Yeah,
Some
like
it
UFO
is
spooky eclipse making the Wardens lose.
But what's
So
Well,
dumb.
I mean, it was a
ancient
bad omen.
alien shit.
And I loved how you like you treated it seriously in the documentary. Like it is, like that is what happened. An eclipse happened. A reverse
Yeah.
eclipse. No, a reverse eclipse. I don't know.
It was during then when I like met the Warden. No. 128 RT when they were like still more active. They got really into PressCorps because I was just sitting there with a radio backpack LARPing as the fucking radio man.
Yeah, they just
Like
tried. They just tried to shoot Mario all the time.
Yeah, no, they got. I think that was the first time we used the radio backpack to spot Mari Sharp.
But like, I suppose this part
Target spotted.
Excuse me.
Helping us build and
Yeah,
giving us
I guess one regret I had in like doing the interviews for this documentary was like I wasn't able to get any interviews with any SOM guys because there's a couple of things that they were an integral part of, like I guess retaking this and more so later in the Christmas offensive and also in getting the rocket to work
Right.
in the one in Spade.
Spade, yeah.
They were They were basically the intellectual eggheads that were teaching us how to use the rockets when it came time to use it. We'd studied over the process and everything. Because these are the guys that go to these dev build shards and test out things before the war starts.
They know exactly how broken it is before it hits the live server.
Oh yeah.
Once we took the town down, we started.
Oh man,
safe houses.
little map over there.
I didn't see it.
13, 17 on day one.
Well, no, that was
I don't
the
think any
Colonials.
Only
The
I
Colonials,
could-
they tore a line through the. They cut you off for a second. They cut the wardens off. They formed a pocket. They formed a pocket for a minute, and then the wardens.
It was
broke out.
a partisan. It was a partisan thing that showed up on the map.
Oh yeah, the charts.
Shout
I
out
made
to
these
Foxhole
charts back
Stats,
in,
right?
like-
Foxholestats.com.
No, these ones I just like made up.
Oh, you straight up
This
made
was
them.
just like an estimate. Yeah, that was like a chart for like tanks when tanks were introduced and like what numbers. That was like a pretty much just an estimate from me.
Oh, you siege
And
counted
that
it.
took like because like it wasn't like now or like is it I know how it is now, but like it used to be like around the War 30 period, like it used to be both of the tech would be the same, so like everyone knows
Right.
when blank will be unlocked, etc., etc. But like then in 19 you had two separate like tech trees going and no way to track them except for just like being in game. That wasn't like tracked in like Foxhole stats or anything. So we had to like piece out, okay, when were tanks unlocked, when were half tracks unlocked, when
It
were
was a
battle
guessing
tanks
game
unlocked.
because you had to like
And
parse
like,
through
when were
stories.
Warden battle tanks unlocked, when were colonial battle tanks unlocked.
I remember doing that. 'Cause I had
Yeah,
to parse
like
through
piece
stories.
it.
It's like, oh, okay, this report that someone submitted is talking about anti-tank rifle or whatever. I was like, oh, wait, okay, so this means it had to have been unlocked by day so and so. Okay, well then we'll go back another story. Okay, there's still that there, and then okay, this one doesn't mention anti-tank rifles, so then that must mean it had to be between this day and this day. And like that was like,
Yeah.
I had never felt more like a journalist, like actual journalism, because we're just LARPers. But like, I had never felt like more like that than when I was doing that. That was like some All the President's Men shit, where we were going over like numbers and
That's right.
documents. I'm like, okay, we're investigating this.
Exactly.
I think
Oh yeah,
like,
this
I
part
think
about the Kingston safe house. I remember like I thought it was exaggeration when Magic Mark said like he was doing 18-20 hour shifts. That was true. The guy spent an insane amount of time playing games.
In real life.
You know, Magic Mark seems like a. Wait, we're talking about Magic Mark, right?
Yeah, Magic Mark is I
Yeah,
guess, a
our
perfect guy.
boy from CAW. God bless his soul. I'm doing the sign of the cross. I don't know why I did.
Oh,
He-
I like this
he's an
this transition.
actual,
I really liked. I guess zooming into like an individual face and then going to black, fading in.
Like,
I
if
was
you-
pretty proud of that transition.
If you check Magic Mark's Steam, he fucking dedicates his time to like video games, but he seems
I wish-
so like
I
not tired
envy-
by them.
How old is he? Because I envy that amount of
I
free
don't
time.
know. He seems like 20-ish from his voice.
Real
I don't
quick,
know,
is this?
but he was
Did
really
you make
fun
this
to play
newspaper
with.
up?
Oh yeah, this new
The
paper.
cerulean sentinel.
I don't know who made this. It was like I saw it
Oh, but, okay,
out
someone
of
else
fog,
made
and I saved it. As far as I know, they didn't make any like other issues of this newspaper, but like I wanted to put it in as well as Big Mac's paper, the Siva News Story, and Legionary Weekly, which was just starting out at the time.
I kind of really wish at this point in the documentary, when they started talking about Westgate, I kind of wish we would have focused, or at least we would have spent a lot more time on Westgate. Because it's such, and same with Umbral, because those two sectors were probably the most bloodiest sectors for the most
Were you
majority of
there?
the war, because that's where the majority of the war took place. But
I
also
know,
because
I know that was a
there
big
was-
regret because like
there was a
I
severe,
didn't get-
like, it's almost like the Battle of Bastogne when the 101st is cut off from resupply and
the
reinforcement,
battle tank. Oh,
and they're just completely stuck.
Under helm was Fonzie and
Real
Oh,
quick,
I
I'm
really
sorry.
have to
I
take
don't mean
Skies
to
for-
pause again. I'm gonna try and really stop myself from doing that as much as possible. But yeah, just to reiterate this point is that this is the tough part. This is the part I hate the most. That almost paralyzes me from doing anything. Which is that I chose a great time to pause. But what
Yeah.
what pains me is that when um because like when you start to do things seriously, right? Because my first newsreels like from War 1 or 2 or whatever, I was like, it's just generic whatever. But like when you're actually trying to record events, the responsibility is on you, and the feeling of that, trying to do it well and represent as many things as possible, is absolutely crushing and paralyzing because there's so much going on in Foxhole. It hurts
that's
to
the
think
feeling
about.
because like it's nominally easier now, I suppose, because there's less people playing the game.
Mhm.
But like especially in 19, there were so many perspectives which I wish I could have gotten, but like haven't. Like I didn't really get many interviews on the East Coast on like Ender Shore and Umbro. I didn't get much from Heartlands. I didn't get much from after Jade hit because we were so preoccupied with like that missile report. I didn't get much interviews with non-clan members and with new players. Like I wanted to have like interviews with like new players who were just like starting off with the game.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I suppose it's just like the limitations. You know,
Yeah.
especially since it was just like mostly me who was working on the project.
And I just want to make it the reason why I pause is because I just want to emphasize that point immensely is that it's when you take on a project like a whole war documentary, like there is the responsibilities on you to represent it as true as possible, as factually true as possible. So like as you were talking about, like, yeah, I wish we could have spent more time in Umbral Wildwood because that's actually like where a lot of the fighting took place. But then maybe there wasn't enough time. Maybe people just didn't want to talk about it because they were so obsessed with Jade Cove or whatever. Like you kind of lose that aspect, and then it's the end product. Even though you absolutely didn't mean this in any way, it comes off as if there wasn't anything going on there. So again, that the burden of
and
yeah,
and the same with the who I'm interviewing because I have to admit like most of the people I've interviewed, I guess on a 2-to-1 like ratio were wardens. I really wish I could have gotten more colonial interviews, but like I guess I was more landed. I knew more wardens, and with the colonials, I mostly just left it up to RGB to tell me what's happening on the colonial side.
Yeah.
I think I made 30 interviews.
Wow. Oh,
And-
we should share
and,
when
like-
when we finish with all this. We should get to the documentary, not the document, the 100-page or whatever document that you've compiled. I'll show it on stream, and I think we're clear for that. But in any case, let's get going. I'll revisit that later. But yeah, let's get to the tank because I wanted to make sure we didn't skip the tank. Potato.
Oh yes, I really liked for this part. I really have to thank Skies for finding out who the people manning the very first battle tank were. Like I remember him like trying to figure this out, and he got back to me like by like months after the war. Like this was like in February and March 2019, and just like him going deep into that and finding out who these guys were, and also for Boris for interviewing one of the members of the first battle tank. Boris, yeah, you interviewed him, Black Mamba, in like March, right? How's that like?
Black Mamba, yeah.
The legendary Black Mamba.
The man is soft-spoken, but he's also full of ambition.
Does he talk? Does he actually have a microphone?
Oh yeah, no, he's
Okay.
very soft-spoken.
Who made that image? I remember seeing it.
Oh,
back
that
home.
was Big Mac. Big Mac made that.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that tank actually. I remember Mari was pursuing those tanks live on the air, and it was insane the tank battles that were happening.
Oh yeah, a bit of investigative journalism, I suppose. Finding out like who killed the first battle tank, because there were a couple of guys that were claiming that they were the first ones that killed a battle tank. There was There was one report here
Was
from
this
Nick
long
6
stone?
where he thought he was the first one to kill a battle tank, and I realized the dates that he put and
off.
corroborating that with like Foxhole stats and like how the map moved at that point. That was Nick 6 was like 2 hours behind of 82DK story.
Wow.
82DK Avitus and Maybar. And they also thought that they were the first ones to kill a battle tank because they were in Heartlands.
Oh, so they
were
weren't off.
facing off
Yeah.
against a battle tank in the place where the first battle tank was. But as it turned out, the first battle tank moved off to the east to Umbro, and like Mari had like reported that, and so it couldn't have been done. And I realized the first battle tank was done at least 4 hours before this story on this story by Avitus.
And see, this is the thing. It's like all this data, all this information. It's like this could be its own separate documentary.
The making of. Hey, next year we should do the making of War 19 documentary.
Oh no!
No, fuck. Piss off.
No, I'm talking specifically about like the race to be the first to kill a battle tank. That race
Sure.
itself
Right,
could
that's
be a
right.
I
documentary.
mean, it could be like a 5-minute special.
The
like,
ass
Oh, yeah.
offensive. Oh, this part kills me.
Metal Man.
Props to Lord
Metal
Metalman.
The bagpipes.
Metal Man was probably the best interview I had. I had so much fun with him.
I miss Metal Man. Where the fuck did he go?
I think he's still in ASS. I think.
I don't know. I've
Big
seen
fucking
him like
tank,
last
that, right?
month. He didn't like speak. He was using a soundboard.
Oh.
So you've gotten some responses on the YouTube page of me like, well, of course you gave a Scottish man bagpipes, and you had to respond with, well, yeah, that's what he wanted.
He wanted the
Like,
bagpipes.
we're not trying to
I
like, it's like you're not trying to stereotype the guy. This is what he wanted.
Also, I would think every Scottish person
Can you blame him though?
in a World War
Can you
II
blame him when this is the result?
in a World War II aesthetic, yeah, you would want bagpipes. I don't know. I'm not Scottish, so I can't speak for them. But like,
But yeah, about Metal Man. This interview was done, I think, on the 4th, January 4th, 2019. So that was like 4 days after the war had ended.
It was right fresh in his mind then.
Yeah, it was. I think it was one of like in these later interviews. That's when it was with Metal Man that I started like talking with the interviews more than I like recorded with them. So we could like discuss what we're gonna talk about, if they're gonna have a character, and I think it helped in like having them being more comfortable and having more like characterizations instead of just like I guess like blankly talking about
I
an
remember
event.
that's why the ASS like recruitment ad on the PressCorps was so lively. It was because of that. I remember that. Like they would do like a whole bit, and then like they would make the noises of them leaving the studio. You know.
Oh man, the music, the Christmas whole thing. Oh yeah, this video, this like little clip I have here, I think I found it on. It wasn't even YouTube. It was like some different streaming site. I forgot what it was, but it had like 3 views. I digged it out of like out of the internet. Oh, but also this picture.
Yeah, I had to go searching on that one. I had to find a...
This picture. This picture is so goofy. I think that's why I didn't show it all. It was just like 3 guys looking at
the picture of the dead Italian holding his picture of his son.
Yeah. I know. It's so tasteless.
It's such a tasteless picture, and I was like,
wait,
oh my
god, wait a second. Is that what that is?
Yes.
Okay, well we're not gonna revisit that. That is, hey, Potato. That is kind of tasteless. I'm not. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
That's
also,
spicy. Oh, Jesus.
Let's just say I blame Mothman for egging me on to use that.
Oh,
I want to see more dead Italians.
Jesus Christ.
Oh God.
All of this really great art though is.
Oh yeah, the art is wonderful.
Yeah.
And also these glitch pictures.
I love how
Can I just say?
Then
Go
also the backtrack of Avitus talking about war crimes.
Literally holding a gun to your head.
Yes.
I love how this this kind of mini story at the tail end of part 2 is like Ebenezer Scrooge and like learning about the meaning of Christmas, except he doesn't, and it's like, now let's commit more war crimes. And it just ends
Learning
there.
about the meaning of war crimes.
I do not want to see what would happen to me if I do. Do you?
Do you disagree? No.
Who did
No,
the captions? Who did the captions for all these?
Me. I
You
did the captions for all of them.
Incredible, absolutely
Yeah.
incredible. These are custom like captions.
Yeah. It took me like I think 3 hours to do the captions for all of them.
My goodness,
I don't know. 3 hours isn't a lot compared to 500.
that's absolutely a lot.
There was a little bit of a joke where like he would get me and the other like Filipino guys. He said we should caption it in Tagalog or some shit.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
man, the third part. I think the first part was I told Mothman this, but like I really wanted to scrap it and do it all again because it was.
We had to talk
I
you
guess
out of that.
compared. Yeah, you had to talk me out of it because like this third part, like I'm so proud of this part in comparison to like the other ones because I made them with the experience of having made the first 2 parts.
Yeah, the
so I
clouds
know-
and everything like that. You know, it's to cover up the map and everything. Like that took time, and it really kind of shows how far you progressed from the start to the end of that project.
And it's something you only could have known, really, but just by doing it. So I don't know. I like to think that if you had restarted it, you would have just been in an endless loop of, well, I'm at part 3 again. I can do part 3 better.
Well, maybe, but like I don't know. I still think this whole first sequence is really cool. Just like one continuous shot of like the events.
Yeah, this is a one shot.
Especially yeah, and with like the kind of focus or like the blur to the background as well.
Oh yeah, I mean
Which
this is
really
the,
got
this is the
going in
big
this part.
this is the big hammer swing of animation and just culmination of all of the work that you put together is now playing out in this part. Because I think this was the hardest part.
I like the green
Ah.
tint.
I guess yeah, putting green tint on the uniforms.
Wait.
No,
Did
but
you do it on
I
the
think
whole image or just the uniforms? Like you pinpointed the tint?
just the uniforms.
Oh my god.
I pinpointed the color of the uniforms, and then like I changed the color
Jeez
to
Louise.
to a more greenish.
And that's something no one notices, but you can feel it. That's what details are.
Also just like the panning of the maps, focusing on the areas because I guess still now I really regret not putting like the names of the towns and the places on the maps.
You know,
So I had
Shut
to
up, it's
I had to like
beautiful.
focus
It's
them.
beautiful. Don't go back and change it.
No,
I swear to
I mean,
God.
he's got a point. I know, like a month before, I had like floated the suggestion. Hey, is it possible to like label the towns and label the like put more names for like when people are talking because you kind of lose track of like who's who. Because
Yeah, like I really I had to substitute it with like really panning and focusing on those areas which they're talking
Right.
about. But like
You can see in
it
the
was
captioning
just
you did actually give the names.
it's hard, but no. I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm just gonna let it go because
like on the maps themselves.
Yeah,
I
because-
was the thing was I was too far into like the rendering.
Right,
It would take
right.
me like dozens of hours to re-render the maps with the text on. And it was the same thing with like the interviews. I now wish that I put like the names of the interviewees on like the pictures that I put on the screen as well.
that's fine. You
But-
had to make
yeah, I guess.
sacrifices somewhere. I mean, I'm just impressed that because remember, not only is the whole thing tilting and panning, things are moving while it's tilting and panning.
Yeah, like these, I made the pictures into like a 3D thing. Like I made them into 3D layers, which is double the rendering time.
Oh my god.
It was so hard, just trying to edit these like map animations was so frustrating because like I couldn't see them like this. I couldn't see them like in a full quality. I had to like in Vegas I had to like put them in like draft auto, which anyone who uses Vegas can know that you can't see any detail in that. And so like I had to render the maps out
Just to see what
and
you're doing.
just to see, and then if there was like an error, if like the icons or like the masking like flubbed up, then I would have to go back in and try to change them again and render them again to check them.
That's actually
And it was
old
just
school.
so like inefficient.
That's
That's
old
an
school
absolute
CGI.
headache.
That's actually like for Tron, like the old 80s Tron. That's actually how they did it, CGI. It's like they had no idea what they were doing. They were just inputting things and then, all right, let's see how it looks. Oh, okay, it's good enough. All right, well, it works. Next shot. Oh my god.
Big props to that explosion effect.
Oh, yeah. I chose that. He stole that from me. I chose that explosion.
Yeah.
That clip art.
Sorry, I have to pay you royalties now from all the 0 pesos that I got from
Yeah,
this.
the royalties from what I stole from clip art.
Oh, the joy
Oh,
of open source software and imaging.
Oh god, this part when
Colonials for advancing
when Magic Mark was talking about like Jade will never fall. and
Ah.
all that stuff.
Here we go. Buckle up. Hold on to your butts.
Yeah, exactly.
Contrary, I have to apologize. Contrary to popular belief, this part was I guess meant by him. This was recorded after the war, and so like he made it so that he'd set it up, you know, to have like Jade be like an important thing, like just before the Jade thing happened.
Yeah, I've done that before with news
that part
packages
was a
as
bit
well.
scripted.
Weathered
Yeah.
Expanse, Endless Shore, Faranac Coast, and in Westgate, which are colonials.
Oh, man. Weapons of mass
were
destruction.
now
We're going
in
full Iraq
Ah.
war here.
I really have to apologize as well.
What?
Like
Oil? Somebody say
you see
oil?
the corner of
I
the
heard
maps,
oil.
you see the skirmish maps.
That's fine. Like no one, potato. No one cares. It's good. It looks
Nobody
great.
cares, potato.
Nobody cares, but
the newbies. But the newbies.
The rocket needed a lot of
You know, like some of the guys here were like War 19 was their first war. Like Soup was, Spark
Oh,
was.
yeah.
This
Boris
is my
was-
first war.
Was
yeah.
War 19 your first war, Boris?
Yeah.
And 1,400
I
Since
joined
then-
like I think literally day 3 of the actual war. I had it gifted to me. I
Oh, yeah, this
literally
picture of, like,
played
the
3
blueprint
days
for the
straight
rocket.
with no sleep.
Yeah,
and then
that
I
one took
passed
some
out.
scouring on the internet to find like a scale image.
Oh no, that was from the dev vlogs.
Yeah, that took like what, all of 20, 30 minutes to
A
find.
day.
I mean, like you had the page on it, but then you asked if there was a higher res version, and I think that's what took the most time, is trying to find a higher res.
Yeah, I think I ended up using like Waifu 2X to like increase the resolution.
Oh my
of
god,
it.
hold on. I know.
Oh yes, I like the.
I'm sorry,
this,
real
this
quick.
shot of it.
I want to appreciate that shot, but also like, can we talk about how
an entire village.
like important it is
Not
that you
nuclear.
got this story? Like, hold on. I completely forgot
Yeah.
that there was an attempted naval attack, amphibious assault on
Oh
this
yeah,
rocket
no,
site.
they tried more than once.
I completely forgot about it.
Yeah,
and
I
you
also-
mentioned the regiments that were
It
involved.
was also I guess like a significant goal for me to like have a Chinese player
Over 100
like
Yes, I'm so
voiced
glad you
in
did
the,
that
in the
too.
documentary.
Because it's so hard to get
Because
in
especially
touch.
I guess especially now with like you know well now or like a few months ago when there was like a big
Spade.
pushback against like Chinese players.
Spade was an important
I think it's important to know that you know a lot of these guys are just players and like they're doing their part in the game and like in the team they're not you know
Who they are in the game does not represent who they are in real life. They do not
and, like,
represent. They do not represent the government of China. They are people, and they are playing a game just like you are.
Mhm. All right, here
That's
we
the
go.
most important thing.
The rocket that wiped Spade off the map. It's not even there. If
oh
you
yes,
go there,
this,
it's not even
this
there.
footage I think was
No,
from
I'm
RGB man.
Yeah, take all the carbine ammo out of
Do
it.
we have Solar Scourge in here as well?
27
Because that was at the end of the
standard
war.
time, the rocket
No, I wasn't able to put it in.
Damn. Because we got that on stream.
There is a lot left on the cutting room floor. Speaking
I
of,
remember.
Yeah.
I remember being at work, and this was back when we had an active Twitter account, and I was like waiting. I was like messaging everyone in the press corps.
Yeah,
like,
I remember,
Who's here? Who's there?
first-
Do we have stories on this? It was like full on newsroom.
Yeah, the thing was for Spade.
It was
for Spade,
pandemonium in the internal chat.
in the internal chat,
yeah,
and of course
also
the Foxhole
in
Discord.
Spade, I was like, I stayed up till like 4 a.m.
That sounds right.
just to like cover that.
Remember when this
And
was
then
the
I
biggest
went
thing?
to sleep. I went to sleep. I woke up, and then Jade had happened.
Right, because we all went to sleep like thinking, oh wow, the first rocket, it hit
first
Spade.
rocket,
That's going to be
wow.
the big story of the week. Oh my god.
Nah, nobody cares about Spade.
Well, that's the thing. Spade was
People-
just perfect.
oh.
Was too perfect of a target, too like perfect of an operation, that like no one cares about it because it was like, yeah, of course, that's how it went. It's oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, I remember this was when Taron was becoming popular as well.
Soundboard
Like
master.
when he was just becoming. Yeah.
Easily the best soundboarder we've I think the community has ever had, just because he had all those dialogue options from StarCraft lined up perfectly. And then we had like a big send off to like, hey, farewell, Terran Marine, and then he like kept coming back. I'm like, well, that just kind of negates the big thing we did. But okay, whatever. Yeah, hey, welcome back.
Oh
Well, he
god.
always defies expectations.
There you go.
It was only a matter of time before the warden stopped.
Also, did we hear Geiger counter static?
Yeah.
Thanks, Potato. Thanks, Potato, for
Triggered?
completely,
Triggered?
yeah, I am triggered. Because you know how much I try to emphasize that it is not a
I
nuclear
remember
rocket.
how much you were just almost shouting at people. It is not nuclear.
I love this though. I love the fact that there's a Geiger counter because it's almost like a tongue-in-cheek reference to how
Oh, here we go. Hold on. This is
grimdark Foxhole is.
Yui Emperor trying to spin
Oh yeah.
what is truly probably the worst the worst strategic and tactical decision ever made in Foxhole history.
I talked him into like making a like prepared speech, because one, I didn't want to edit 55 minutes of an interview, and two, because I had to like interlace this with like other people, like 4 different people, and so I had to have a concise explanation from him in like 1 to 2 minutes.
It's incredible. It really felt like listening to his interview, and when Sean, shout out to Sean Valley, aka Sakuga, aka a whole bunch of other names. He interviewed him for like a full, I think, like 90 minutes, and we cut it down to like 40 minutes, which was still too much, but still, like, listening to that was like, wow, that's the most I've ever felt PressCorps, obviously, because it was our biggest story. But
Oh,
like,
by the way, can you move Hans back in?
oh yes, but like it was like really listening to a politician trying to like spin a story, and it's like because I'm trying to like, oh, I guess, and like it was like getting to me almost like, oh yeah, maybe, wait, no, this is still like the worst thing you could have done, because Jade Cove had been recaptured, had proven to be a very easily recapture, like to be able to capture, and then this guy just wanted to shoot the rocket, even if it meant
By the
scorched
way,
earth.
I really
wanna
have
see
to
Big
thank
Boom.
Hans. I really have to thank Hans here for getting an interview out with Teep, because one thing we didn't get in the missile crisis report was a colonial point of view, and
That's
so
very true.
like having a colonial point of view in the documentary was really important to me. So thank you,
Ironic
Hans.
how like I'm the warden reporter, and I don't know, I was just friends with Deep. We were like making a whole haha funny about Jade Cove, and we were like, oh wait, I should get an interview with you. Hold on, and I called Potato in, and then we
Yeah,
kinda
and you guys ended up just shooting the shit for 4 hours before I ever got the
I
interview.
think. Hold on, real quick. Sorry. While it pauses here, where was everyone when you found out the news of Jade Cove?
I was
at
in
my.
Baguio, dude.
Say what?
My computer broke. I was in another city.
I was at my
I think
uncle's
I was
house
asleep.
celebrating Christmas, and I looked at Discord on my phone. And I was like, "Why is everyone talking about Jade Cove?" Oh, okay, it must have been a rocket. So the Colonials, wait, a Warden rocket, and then just like my face sank. I'm like, "What just happened? Oh my god!" Because in the
Tell your
lead up,
family, bye.
I had
got
left-
more important shit to do.
I had left my home. I wanted to so bad, but I had left my home. Because the battle for Jade Cove, the conventional battle, was like, that's what everyone was talking about. Everyone was like, okay, this is gonna be a thing, probably meat grinder. Maybe it'll fall and then it will recapture easily. And then when I was on my phone, I'm like, they hit Jade with a rocket. Like, oh my god! It was really like it. It was like Pearl Harbor had happened. Like I don't. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry.
So,
We'll go on.
I was-
Boris.
Jade Harbor.
Boris.
I was still fighting with 22nd ACR at the time, and they didn't have any operations going on at the time, so I decided to head up to Faranac Coast to Jade Cove because I'd never been there before. It's a great day to go find out what it looks like. By the way,
Just a hole in the ground.
the weather was
Crater.
perfect. Let me tell you. You
I-
want to get
I
a nice
found
glow
from-
get a nice glow
Yeah,
on your skin. Go to
Red
Jade Cove.
skies, clean air.
It's like that
You-
Doge meme, right? It's like, oh boy, I can't wait to go visit Jade Cove the first time during War 19, right after Christmas.
What a perfect day to go sightseeing in New York. A harmless Tuesday in September. Just
Oh,
exactly.
God.
That same feeling is like now hitting me. It's like, man, I should have made a meme about this. Damn.
Boris, did you mention where you were when you found out about it?
I think, well, because I really got into the game. Like I said, I stayed up literally 3 days straight and then passed out.
Gotcha.
I was staying up late. I think the night that it happened, because if it was Christmas Day for you or whatever, I think it would have been night for me.
Right.
And I remember I made the decision to go to sleep, and then in the morning when I heard about it, I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!" that I missed. I think I missed it literally by like an hour or two.
There's a Discord post.
I'd fallen to sleep like proud of having covered Spade, and then I
so
woke up, and then I woke up to like 5 Discord messages from like Cap and Hans and like other people. I was like, oh god. I was like, oh god.
It's like
and then when I found out more and more about how crucial it was just like, ah, fuck, how am I going to cover this in the in the video?
Again, it's the burden
because now I had to put on like a big burden.
Yeah.
Of like probably the most controversial thing that happened in the game and the community.
Oh,
Hey, might I just say that
it-
everything that went down then might have been like pretty bad, but it aged pretty well. It's a good meme now.
There's a Discord post from, I think his name is Ed, I don't know, but it's literally just in all caps, what a meme. Just in the immediate aftermath, I'm like, yep, that sums it up. So in any case, we'll move on. We'll keep talking about this. Oh my god.
So also our first special last year, the compilation of getting all the footage from LTG and all those other sources of the event itself. That also took some time, and that was more behind the scenes.
I should mention that this is part of a playlist. This is part of a playlist called The Jade Cove Saga. It's available at the PressCorps Foxhole Desk YouTube channel.
Oh,
this
come
is
on.
new.
It's got the
This is
Can we change it to the Jade Cove meme?
the Jade Cove meme.
God no.
It's got all the
It's got the original live report.
document-
it's got all
the
the
documentary.
documentary
our post.
and memorial videos and other little tidbits.
Actually, hold on. Regarding that, I don't know. I haven't checked in a while. I haven't checked the Foxhole, the PressCorps Foxhole desk in a while. But what is it? I couldn't find the recordings of the streams with the colonial senators. Those ones with the cool.
Oh
action.
yeah, that's more like story stuff I did back when I had time for
yeah,
that.
Oh yeah, that's
The
PressCorps lore.
assassination.
I was trying so hard to find them because I wanted to show them to someone, but I couldn't find them. Not on the Twitch and not on the Foxhole desk or PressCorps itself. I don't know if it's on there now.
Uh-huh.
Can we just say that it just seems like even in this discussion, he still sounds really mad.
That's just who he is. He's mad all the time. Oh my god.
Oh, very
Could
passionate.
have put the coordinates into Victor.
He's a very passionate
I don't
man.
know.
That's the beauty of Jade Cove is that everyone made horrible decisions, and it's just a complete tornado of absolute crap, and like nothing good is coming out of this. Everyone is making the wrong choice, and it's actually kind of beautiful if you step back and look at it, like just how all the pieces are fitting together in the worst way possible.
The worst way possible.
Ave Maria fades in.
It's almost like Chernobyl, you know.
It's the world's
Kinda,
worst
yeah.
game of Tetris.
I mean, yeah.
We only did the logistics for
It was only 3.6 Rodkin.
The WGA and the WNS.
I love that. I love that series, by the way. Chernobyl.
To
Beautiful.
disrupt the
Yeah.
rocket's launch by force.
Yes,
Can you confirm
when
this?
Navy Mint actually fired upon the rocket.
Yeah, this footage here, I can't emphasize how important it is. It's in the playlist. It's from Malik, and it's a full hour of the context, like 40 minutes before, or like 50 minutes before, and like 10 minutes after the rocket had launched. That was so critical
No, actually,
to our report.
that's Yui Emperor, I think.
Oh, is that
He
Yui
was
Emperor
recording
himself?
the entire thing.
Oh,
Yeah, and I remember like that original video was like it had a heavy dislike ratio,
yeah.
and like he deleted it, and that's why the current video now is the one by Malik.
Okay,
Because
so
he re-uploaded it.
got it. Okay, yeah, because it's like he released this out. Oh, that makes it even worse because he released that video.
Yeah. He released the video and he said you can figure it out for yourself.
And we did figure it out for ourselves. I was like, no, this is still like you made the wrong choice. And then here's the friendly fire or attempts at friendly fire.
Literal civil war.
I mean, I guess like it's a quote-unquote good thing now. It's like a good meme and a good story, but you know this still resulted in like harassment and team
Yeah,
kills
it
and
was ugly.
like the things that Serenity talked about, like what he got in his DMs are just
The
they're just
underlying thing about this is, even though this is a wonderful story, like about a game, about people contributing to a game and making things
It's
happen,
actually affected real lives.
it's actually affected real people to the point where they are no longer playing. They have been harassed. They have been given possibly death threats because people don't know how to separate emotionally from a situation.
I can speak to this as well. I'm going to pause again just because this is an important point that not in Foxhole, but I remember in PlanetSide 2. Also, I was younger. I had messed up. I was like in charge of some big new conglomerates operation, and this was like I think even before Emerald server had formed out of the Matherson and Waterson servers. But I was in charge of this big, I think it was Stratcom? No, something else. I don't know. All these entities that no longer matter. But it was like, multi-platoon, multi-outfit operation. And I forgot even what I messed up. It was like I missed the drop or I chose the wrong coordinates and like I costed something big. And I went to sleep crying. I actually like cried that night because I just let down hundreds of people who were counting on me to like lead them. And like, yeah, it's all a game. But like, I was like, I actually like felt, I had tears. Like I was crying because like I messed up bad, and like just the weight of that bore down on me. Now, of course, I can like laugh at that and laugh at myself. I was like, this is the stupidest thing. Who gives literally no one from that operation cares or remembers any of that except me. Also,
nobody's going to talk about that with their grandkids when they're 85 years old.
You fucked
also,
up.
I should also mention there's no documentary on it, so at least there's that.
Potato. Go.
But jokes aside.
No.
You get so involved in video games, particularly MMOs, particularly Foxhole. It is very. I can absolutely see how you get so wrapped up in it that you can have like strong emotional responses to like breaking down. Like it happens. I get it, and it sucks.
And like the peculiar thing is like in this like little community, it's like a typhoon. It's like an absolute whirlwind. But like outside it, it's like a non-issue.
Yeah, that was before
like,
Discord.
There's
with me.
some drama in the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was before Discord. It just read it, but oh my god, I can't imagine now. Real time shitting all over you. Oh my god, who animated that rocket?
Yeah. Oh, that was me.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, because it was a still image, which again
Geiger counter
from the community.
Yeah, that was a poster from Red Donut.
The irony.
Red Donut.
Trying to figure everything out from yesterday.
Yeah, it was that. So that was that from that poster. I asked him if I could use it. He said yeah, and so like I did it. I erased the text, and then like I animated the rocket and the boat moving. Though the boat moving isn't very like it's not really like visible. But anyway, I don't know what they think about Jade because like from the more than 600 hours of work I put into it, and like all the like 20, 25 plus interviews, it like only like less than a fifth or less than a tenth even was on Jade, but like Jade takes up so much of what people remember the documentary and the war from, which I don't know, it kind of feels bad because I did all of this work, but then everyone just remembers it as like oh, it's a Jade documentary, oh, it's a Jade report.
And that's the service you provided. Like, you recorded the history, and I know we were talking about how we didn't get Umber Wildwood. That's whatever. You just everything before Jade Cove. The fact that you recorded that history, the Oleander Monster House, the attack on Husk Hollow, the Spade rocket, everything before that, the battle tank, the first battle tank. Everyone forgets everything else. So, Potato, I will forever compliment you on the great service you've done for the community and capturing all that beforehand.
There's a difference, okay? You can bomb Spade because Spade's a major ammo factory for the enemy, and they're killing our guys with that ammo. So I think that was justified. Ogmaron, same thing, was the big base for operations. Jade Cove used to be a civilian area. Now it's gone.
So, as a tactical location and one that is, place where so many people have put dedicated like countless hours into, I do reckon.
I really have to thank Gent for this one, because this was recorded January 4, 2019, so it was just like a few days after the war's end. And at that time, like, a lot of people were really like trying to like lynch WNS and WGA, and I guess like one of the big things at that time was like one of the big guys that were really against like WGA and WNS were like DK and WN, and I just like having someone from DK or like Gent that was like level-headed and like chill and knows how to I suppose like show that like a group like DK as like as some people would call like pretty autistic of him to be like really into the game and all. I just wanted to show that like there were like a lot of these people are just like they're just like playing a game and they understand. It's just like in a clan or like a group of like hundreds of people, it's only like one or two people that gets like all the bad press, and like everyone else is just they're just like people playing a game.
Right.
The equipment was even scarcer. The situation here is dire at Whitechapel, but I think morale.
Whitechapel was a pretty bad fight.
Yeah, that's a whole story in and of itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just the inverse of what happened at Westgate, and I felt bad for those guys because they just got completely pounded. It wasn't even like a flat out just stomping, because they fought, and they fought hard. It's a shame that they did not have more, more help, because people just left. The ones that stayed behind to fight, those guys are the real heroes, let me tell you.
That's enough talking for now. I have to check on the map. My binoculars keeping them informed. How'd this get to the CBN people? Is there any left to receive it at the end of the day?
After Jade Cove, there seemed to be a deep well.
Hey, it's Moth.
Hey!
And honestly, your little monologue here really does ring true, because in the days after Jade Cove, which was just the biggest morale hit ever, and in the wake of kind of the quote-unquote civil war, as silly as that term is, it really felt like just things were absolutely collapsing. It honestly, I was getting like this feels like Downfall, the movie the Untertang, it's the Hitler movie.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Der
wonderful
Untergang,
movie, may I say.
This morning, I had another talk with the Sievish
I
diplomat.
mean, it did feel like that.
Both the Valayan and the Sievish peoples.
Oh yeah, yeah, Jeff, you were really mad about this. you had me put in big capital letters, artist's rendition. You were like, anime in my PressCorps lore?
It's not anime.
Foxhole is an anime?
Hold on, let me clarify. It's not the anime. It's the fact that you got it above the nose. You remove the mystery. If you had kept it, if you had cut it off at the nose, then it would have. I don't know. No one cares anymore. It's fine.
Stop trying to scoop up the spaghetti, boss. We know.
Spaghetti. That's a
You've
saying.
already spilled the spaghetti. Now eat it.
Don't worry, you made me laugh the first time I saw that too.
How about that? How about that? His face is covered by a gas mask. Do you like that more?
That's just wardens in general. That's like their aesthetic. That's cheating.
I'm really glad for Avitus to go through with this like speech thing.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
kudos
totally
to him
his.
for being such a sport.
That's 100% his wheelhouse. He lives for that stuff. Not to call him like egotistical, but like just the role playing.
And like that,
you know.
Let me just say about this picture. Let me just say about this picture. This is based on like a screenshot I had in DK for like the longest time.
Oh, seriously?
It was just like a guy on like a broken car, like with the different wardens around him. And it just fits the theme of like Resistance Phase so much, and that's like based on in its own little story. Oh yeah, the casualty charts. Putting this together was such a pain.
This is the most harrowing kind. This is harrowing by itself.
This is honestly like the fallen of World War II. You know that
Yeah, this is literally just the Russian statistics compared to the rest of the world.
82 dead on both sides. The next war will be the longest conflict in the
I like how we're treating it with reverence as if like people died, actually died.
Oh, I don't give a shit.
Half of that death count is just people reeing into the front line, like not knowing what they're doing.
Half of that is the Oleander.
That's also true. It's also Oleander.
I guess one of my favorite parts is this.
More militarized. All of this in the shadow of the ballistic rocket.
Like, I swear, some of these pictures are so great. Thank you, Hans.
Yeah, you're welcome. I still make them. I have nowhere to put them now, but I still make them.
Thousands of players.
What else do I do when I can't spawn and I'm just stuck in like a floating camera?
Sorry, real quick. This little detail. This was. Hold on. Did I?
But the stories of Foxhole.
Did I miss it? I think I did. Those were actual plans drawn up, purportedly. I don't know if that was just done for show.
Oh yeah.
But those were actual plans.
No, those were actual plans.
Yeah.
Those were from a previous war, I think.
Oh, okay, never mind. But they were real.
Yeah.
Different war, but
yeah, they were real.
There you go, that one. That's what
you know, that was made by DK in cooperation with, I think, CAW and FFL.
Of friendships made.
God, no, CAW, FFL, where did they go? Damn.
Well, that's the passage of time.
Can I be honest? Like I miss like my old class.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the documentary entitled 19. Yeah, just incredible work as always. I'm just in awe of it. The work that went into it. The actual journalist. We're not journalists. We're just a bunch of LARPers. Whatever. Blah blah blah. And I do believe that because it's just a video game. But even though we're not journalists, you did actual journalism for this documentary, and it's absolutely incredible. And I can't compliment you and everyone who pitched in. Thank you to everyone in these credits for helping us out. Because let me pull up that document. It's absolutely gorgeous. I don't know, Potato. How do you feel about it 2 years after the fact?
The war itself.
Yeah.
I don't know. I suppose it's such a defining factor in how a lot of our lives in game. Colonial Press, Legionary News, started in War 19. You were started your operations in War 19 as well. I became the second ever member of PressCorps, also back then.
Yeah, I never actually planned to make a team. It was you came to me. I was like, well, all right. He made a good documentary. I guess we'll and I didn't even know how to because I originally I thought I wasn't even going to make a Discord or anything or even a profile or show up on the Reddit. I would literally just pop in like a ghost and do my shtick and then just leave. It's all role playing, nothing actual related to actually reporting any news. And then to turn into this.
Yeah, and it's now such a cornerstone of the community. And you have all these reporting all these stories, putting them in submissions, having the radio on, having videos on, having like Zero Dark on, where people could like just shoot the shit and like talk to developers. It's, I don't know, but like I suppose like the war itself, I didn't really like play the war itself. Like, it was, I guess it was a bit of a turning point when I started playing the game more for the project and not for the game itself, and that really shows in like my playtime, because I have like 200 hours in game, and that's like mostly Logi. And like more than 600 on the documentary, and then a couple of hundred more for like PressCorps. And I think that's when this war really marked the turning point for when I started looking beyond just like the game itself. And I suppose now, like in this year, that I've thought of, if I'm gonna put all my like time and effort into something again, maybe it should be something that's more than a game. And I really have to apologize to you guys. I haven't been active in Foxhole and in the press and all that.
You've done literally a year's worth of work. You can take another year off. It's fine. Oh my god! Like, hold on. Let me prove it once again. You can't see this. Maybe you can. This is the mega document that Potato has compiled. I don't know. Can you see that on the? I know you can see it on the stream, but
I can't see it on like the screen share.
Discord stream.
Right. Maybe I can switch it up.
Remember,
So I want to take a
assign
second. To tell you guys that just as this documentary ended, apparently from Eggy Boy, he's telling me that War 67 is over.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Right now.
Just now.
War 67.
Oh. Hey, pieces come.
Well, then one more to go to the night.
Wait, hold on. That means
one more.
That when is the winter update coming out?
I don't know. There's an update right now.
Yeah, my game's updating right now. Actually,
It's probably a hot fix. It's probably a hot fix, but because what I'm really getting
I don't
at,
see anything big.
I would love nothing more in this world than to have the big winter update be War 69.
Oh, it better be.
Yeah.
Because I want thousands of newcomers, hundreds, I don't know. I want newcomers. I want their first war ever to be a big one and to be War 69.
A nice one.
Sorry, real quick, going back to this document.
Jeez,
89 pages.
50 wars since Jade.
89 pages. This is all Potato doing his thing. He's compiling things. This is what went into compiling that information. It's not just...
That's the Jade Cove Bible right there.
Pretty much.
That's gospel.
It's not just... I will take my time going through this thing. It is not just, the keying, the coloring, the coloration, the shots, the pacing, the movie making. This is the journalism he did.
I was compiling
we should really
all
make
the
this
stories
available
from
as kind of like an
Can I just say, I love how the pictures of the rocket hitting is on page 69.
Are you kidding me? Holy
God damn
hell.
it. Someone put that in.
It's prophetic. It's prophetic.
That's beautiful. That is.
I swear,
wow, look at
someone
that.
put that in purpose.
Yep, right there. Wow.
But yeah, this Google Doc is available. You can see there's a link to it in the descriptions of each of the parts.
Oh, so it is publicly available.
I compiled this during the war and after it, like putting all the newswire stories in for PressCorps, putting the stories from my interviews in, and pulling whatever stories I could pull from FOD and from the subreddit at that point.
Here's a So we used to have Discord channels dedicated to each war, but that just became horrible because because we have literally we've had 67 wars. That's too many Discord channels. So I
think we did it until like War 30 something. Where we had like a text channel for each war as an archive.
And it was
Wow.
I ugly copy pasted. All that matters is that the information's there. So this is obviously a horrible copy pasting job. But this is just War 19. This is the submissions channel. So in the PressCorps Discord, we have a submissions channel. And my goodness, You can see here that, yeah, this was what people were actually submitting during War 19. And just the stories that go into this are absolutely incredible. And this is, partially what Potato took from, and then combined with the stuff he did. Real quick, going back to the Spade rocket, was I there? No. Someone was streaming, and then the footage was lost. But someone was streaming the Spade rocket
That was
when it hit.
probably Frank Smith.
I think so. It was either Frank or
Multiple
another random
people were
streamer
streaming.
that has
There
never.
was RGB. There was, the guy that was taking the taking the clips, the carbine ammo.
Yeah, from the town hall.
There was,
And when it hit,
there was also.
It was chaos. It was like a city really
Yeah, it
had
was-
just been bombed. People were like wandering around in the outskirts of Spade, like, what's going on? What do we do? There was like a patrol of motorcycles going by.
Yeah,
Like,
there was that, and then just a bunch of
There's a
colonials
light
rushed
tank along
into
the
the town.
road.
there were
There was
refugees,
a light tank on the
legitimate
road,
refugees coming out of
blocking the
Spade.
trucks that were taking out carbine ammo.
Oh, this is beautiful. Here's Jade Cove. Oh my God. This is available in the description of the videos, right?
Mostly good.
Yeah.
I don't know. What else do we have here?
Whose footage was the? We're talking about the Spade bombing, right?
Yeah.
We were at least.
Yeah, there was RGB's footage of like getting on the cliff and like looking at the town and putting the coordinates. There was also, I think it was Markfoot, but like from the Foxhole like official like YouTube, they had a mod like go up above, like floating above and look at the town being bombed and like the colonials streaming into right afterwards.
It was a warden. I remember. I don't know whose footage it was, but it starts off with them at the town, and you can hear people screaming, "Take all the carbine ammo, gold!" And then he leaves the town. Right, he has binoculars on him, and he walks up the hill, like next to Jade Cove. He's looking at the colonial advance. He sees a light tank. The light tank's shooting people on the road, trying to escape the town, and he's looking at the wardens like streaming out of the town. The colonials are moving in. I don't know whose footage it was, and I don't know where to find it anymore. But I saw that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's the same guy. The take all the carbine ammo, take all the carbine ammo.
Another thing about the Spade rocket.
I don't remember his name off the top of my head.
Me neither.
But I've saved that portion of his video.
Oh, nice.
I got it off Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
And
in finishing off this the Spade rocket is that I don't know if it's mentioned in the documentary, but I think a majority of the colonial recon team that targeted it, they were too close, and like a lot of them died because they were in the blast radius. They didn't know what the radius of the rocket was, so they were too close. I think they were trying to hide behind a mountain and kind of like not cheat, but like kind of edge it in the camera in a way where they could coordinate, but at the same time, or like get the coordinates, but at the same time hide behind a mountain. So they were much closer than they should have been. So I think they lost their tank, they lost most of the team, and like it just wound up like a lot of them died in the process. And I was like, oh my God, this is such a mess. This is beautiful. I don't know. But Potato, did you have it? We the rest of this playlist it goes on to like the Jade Cove report we did 2 years ago as well, which is the day after. I don't think we have time for that. If we want to go into that, that's a whole thing in and of itself. But Potato, did you have any?
In chat, Warco wanted to talk about his perspective of Jade. It's up to you if you want to put him in.
I think because how long? Oh my God, we've been doing this for an hour and a half. An hour and a half or 90 minutes. 90 minutes. There you go. Yeah, an hour and a half. But Potato, did you have any closing statements? Because I don't think we had time to open it up here, and I got to get going. But Potato, did you have any closing statements on 19, on the documentary 19, or about Foxhole in general?
Well, you're really putting me in stuff.
I really am.
I don't really have much to say other than what I've said already. It's a part of Foxhole history. I hope that it inspired other people to do like similar things. Since I'm certainly not making documentaries about Foxhole anymore. I haven't played the game in months, in more than half a year now. I really hope someone else could like, if not to like take the mantle, I suppose, of making like high quality Foxhole videos, just like open up a spirit of like saving or like remembering these stories in this game. And it's a game, right? But it's it's a lot of people's stories, and like especially now and during like the COVID stuff, it's a good escape from like the bad stuff that's happening in in the now times. And it's, I think it serves as like good memories to look back on, because I never would have thought, like just like 3 years ago, that any of this would happen. I've grown up playing like mostly single player games, and this is just like a whole like slew of memories. And it's good to have like recordings of what happened back then to like reflect on what things were before and how far you've come now. And as for the game itself, I really hope that it'll take off, more than it has, because this is one of the best early access games I've ever played, and I think all of you can attest to that as well. And
we've invested a lot into it, and I can't agree with you more. It's got its problems, it's got its big problems, but there's just something about Foxhole that's unique, and you've made it even more so, Potato. So, yeah.
So, really, I want to thank I really want to thank the devs for just like making this game. There's like years of their life just like putting into this game, developing it, and as much as like people like Tumimum and like Mark Foot and KFC and the other devs, they're trying to make a unique experience and a good game, and they haven't done it with like they haven't done all the like screwy things that developers have done in recent years. Microtransactions,
scummy
like
things,
predatory practices. Yeah, and I wish more developers would follow their example. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it from me.
Yeah, for sure. Potato, I hope once the game hits 1.0 or we hit winter update or just down the line, we can get you back going. But I know you are busy. You've got a lot of projects on your plate as well in real life. Things that I don't think you're even promoting on YouTube or anything. It's just like personal projects because you're recording a lot of history, Filipino military history, which is something hardly anyone thinks about except beyond the MacArthur landing on that beach. And then, that's the whole Filipino theater. So I got to compliment you. I also want to emphasize the work you did on this documentary on a fake war. You're now bringing those skills into recording actual history in an actual war in real life, and it's incredible where Foxhole has what Foxhole has.
It's absolutely amazing.
It is, isn't it? Where it's brought us in good and bad, but for us, I think it's been good.
This man's investigative journalism comes naturally. I think he like told me he went to like you had to go to the military like place. Is it the
Oh yeah, for my current project. Like for my current project, I'm working on covering the Japanese invasion of the Philippines. That whole campaign, the destruction of the Far East Air Force, the Battle of Bataan and Corregidor, and like the rest of the islands. And I've so far I've gotten like more than 100 books, primary source documents, and like research papers from like a bunch of journals from universities in my country and in the U.S. I've contacted and went to like museums here to ask for like for sources and stuff. I've went to I suppose it's a local one, but I've went to like a local army camp that was in in my local town, which was integral in the battle for my town during the Leyte landings. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm from Leyte, that island that MacArthur landed on in '44, but yeah, I've been trying to piece this together from multiple perspectives. I suppose like taking from what I've learned from Foxhole and like doing real fake war journalism, and putting perspectives of like different people. You know, not because like many histories mostly just focus on like one side. For example, like American books just focus on what Americans experience. Filipino books just focus on what Filipinos experience. Japanese books mostly just focus on what Japanese experience.
PressCorps warden bias.
I wanted to create a fuller, detailed, just collection of stories, both from Filipino, Japanese, American experiences of that war, because it's important to what I feel to be like an important part of our history in my country, and obviously also the biggest loss in American history as well, in American military history, and I hope that that can come to pass, that I can make a sufficient product, I suppose like a sufficient coverage that I can also look back on, just as I did with this War 19 documentary, and think, yeah, I've done a good job. I've recorded a lot of stories for people to look back on and remember, and to be more informed, I suppose, in a way.
Yeah.
But,
well, you'll if the Foxhole one is indicative of your prowess in that field, I don't think I have any doubts whatsoever. Poe Tayto, thank you so much for joining us again. I know we've done a lot of talking ourselves up here tonight in the press corps, in ways I hate doing it, but when it comes to this specific project, when it comes to 19, I will have us all brag about that all day long, because it is just absolutely gorgeous and beautiful to reminisce about and think and look at. So, Poe Tayto, thank you so much. To the rest of our little gang here joining in, thank you as well, and to all those that are watching live or on YouTube. Thank you again, and it makes my heart happy looking back on all of this. So, for the press corps, on behalf of the whole press corps, good night, good fight, and have a happy holidays going into the new year.
The PressCorps is a non-profit creative collective of artists, reporters, and players from the MMO video game Foxhole by Clapfoot. Our mission is to engross our audience in and amplify the stories of this unique war ecosystem. The PressCorps was founded in early 2018 by former PlanetSide 2 Radio Free Araxis host, Captain-in-Arms. It is a separate community entity and is in no way representative of Clapfoot. For more info, visit the PressCorps Discord through the link below.